What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to try a ton of Korean products. There are a few Korean brands that just launched at Ulta Beauty. I've got foundations, I've got blushes, I've got lip, so let's just jump right in. I already prepped my face, but I did use Korean skincare. I used the Tik Milk Skin Toner. Now this has chamomile extract and rice bran extract that make your skin feel moist and smooth. So this helps moisturize and it helps soothe out your skin. And this is what you put on after you cleanse your face. So this is what I used today. And then after the toner, I did use a cream as well. And this is a ceramic cream, also from Tik. And this one is a hydrating cream with lightweight formula, which moisturizes from deep within, leaving your skin smooth and glowy like porcelain. Who does not want porcelain glowy skin? And I do feel like my skin feels smooth, it feels moisturized, it is prepped and ready to go. I also like the consistency of this. It does not feel so heavy. It is not gel-like either. It is truly hydrating. All right, we got the moisturizer. I do want to put on a primer, and I don't believe any of the brands had any, which is totally fine, but Tik does have this mask fit makeup fixer, and this one is long lasting. It has a blurring effect and a moist finish. You do have to shake it before you apply, and you can apply this before or after you apply your makeup. So I'm just going to do a quick little spritz to just lock in all that moisture from the toner and the cream. So now we let that settle in, and I'm going to go in with a primer. Now I did not find a primer from any of the Korean brands except for this makeup fixer. So I'm going to use a non-Korean brand, and that is the NYX The Face Glue. I actually really like this primer. It is pretty hydrating. It does not feel super sticky when you apply it, and your makeup stays intact, I feel. I feel weird skipping the primer. I know I put that makeup fixer on. It's supposed to be kind of like a prep, but I need to go on with a primer. For foundation, I'm going to use the Viral Tik Mask Fit Foundation. So that is the packaging. It is pretty decent size. It's big. I am in the shade 31N French Beige. So when you open the packaging, there is a nice mirror here. But then you see the actual cushion. Now this is what you'll be using to actually apply the foundation. So then you have your sponge here, and this is where you open the packaging, and this is where you have your foundation. It is not like your typical foundation. It is a cushion-like, and what you do to apply is you just take your sponge here, you just press it into here, and it picks up that foundation for you. I don't think I picked up enough. So here we have that, and then what you do is you start pressing it into your skin. I will say I am impressed with the coverage of this foundation. I'm gonna use my 2 fingers. There you go. I feel like I get a better control of the application that way. But look at already the coverage. It doesn't look like it picks up a lot of product, but trust that it is enough to give you the coverage you're looking for. Look at the difference already. It is just such a unique way to apply your foundation. I was a little skeptical at first, but then when I actually used the products, I was like blown away by the amount of coverage. So far so good, and the shade was perfect. Also took me a while to find my shade in this foundation because it's so unique. Don't forget to drag it down to your neck. And that is that for the foundation. Super dewy, super glowy. Porcelain-like skin, I love it. For concealer, I'm also going to use Tier, and this one is the Glide and Hide Blurring Concealer. I really like this concealer because it is dual-ended. So on one side, which is this side here, it is a liquid. And then on the opposite side, you actually have a concealer stick. It kind of looks like a tube of lipstick. I would use this like prior to adding on your foundation if you wanted to conceal some parts of your face. I would also use this underneath my brow to clean up my brow a little bit. I've used it for my under eye when I'm trying to do something subtle, but 9 times out of 10 when I'm doing my concealer for my under eyes, I use the liquid side. I am using this shade 6.5N. I'm just gonna apply a little bit in their corner. My forehead, down the bridge of my nose. Just add a little bit more up here. And my chin. It is not super bright. I wanted to go with something that was a little more warm, closer to my skin tone, because I didn't want the super bright eyes today. It blends in so beautifully. It feels good on the skin. Now that I'm putting this on, I think I could have gone a little lighter, honestly. Because this is a little too close to my skin tone, but still good shade. Especially on days, I think on days where I don't wear foundation and just want to put on concealer, I think this would be a good shade because it'll be the closest to my skin tone. That is that. For contouring today, I'm going to use Kaja. And this is their Play Bento. This is a blush and bronzer little bento box. And it's not a bento box, but start over. Alright, for contouring today, I'm going to do Kaja. This is another Korean brand. This is the Play Bento blush and bronzer. I think this is super cute. It comes with a cream bronzer. And then it also has a highlight, and the very top of the bento has a powder blush. I'm going to use my Morphe M243 Cream and Liquid Contour. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the product here and then just work it into my cheekbones. And this is actually in the shade 2.5 Dolce Cappuccino. Oop. That was a lot of product. It is totally fine because we can take some of that and spread it onto the opposite side. Problem solved. I love this brush because you can just literally get to the side of your nose. Gonna clean that up a little bit with whatever excess product I had in here. Actually didn't put any on my jawline, so just gonna add a little bit there. When I first started contouring, I will tell you, it was intimidating. I had no idea what I was doing. But I always remembered, but I always remembered the number 3. So when you're contouring, it should be the shape of a 3. So literally the top of your, from your forehead, your cheekbone, and then your jawline. It should all connect and it forms a number 3. So that's how I've always remembered just contouring when I first started doing my makeup. For blush today, I'm going to use Fui, and Fui actually has 2 different types of blushes. We have this guy here. This one is the pudding pot. Yes, this one is the pudding pot. And then we have this one here. This one is the jelly pot. Both completely different. So the pudding pot consistency has like a mousse-like formula, but then when you apply it, it feels like a powder. So it's very hard to explain, but let me just show you guys what I'm talking about. So here is the formula, and it does come, I don't have the brush with me, 1 second. Okay, because this blush is so unique, it requires a specific brush to apply it. I didn't have the brush previously when I first got it, so I was dipping into it using my finger, which is totally fine. You could just dip your finger into here and just dot it onto your face, but I did end up picking up the brush, and this one I believe is the mini. And if you see here, it does have like a silicone top that is shaped kind of like a lip balm. And the intention behind this is because the pudding pot and the jelly pot is meant to be for your cheek and for your lips. So this would make it very versatile to either apply on your cheek when you dot it on, or to apply on your lips. And it's just so easy to clean because it is a silicone, and it's like really satisfying, to be honest. Like, I've never seen anything like this out in the market, and truly very unique. Again, you can dip this in here and put it on as a lipstick. The formula and consistency feels so good that you can use it for either or. I was like super skeptical at first when you felt it. It's definitely a sensorial experience when you dip into this product, but the color payoff and the wearability of the product is unmatched. It lasts all day. So this one is the pudding pot, and then here is the jelly pot. Now this also has a very unique consistency. It is a gel-like product. If you see this here, it literally is like a gel. So I'm just gonna dip my finger in here, and if you can see there, the payoff, and you can use it as a gloss. Like, it feels so hydrating. It has a very subtle tint to it. So you can use that and apply it on your cheeks, or you can apply it on your lips. I have yet to use this on my cheeks. I have only used it on my lips, but then same concept. You take the same brush, you kind of swirl it in here, and you can then dot it onto your face. I'm not going to go in with this one today. I'm going to keep this just on my lips so that it can moisturize. And this is just me using the brush again, and I believe this is meant to also be finger-like. I think the name of this brush is actually finger-like brush, because it's supposed to feel like you're applying it with your finger, obviously. That's why it's named that way. But besides me stating the obvious, it literally does feel like you are using your finger to apply this. And look, at just super cute. And how cute is the packaging? You could just throw this in your bag throughout the day if you want to add a little bit of color, a little gloss onto your lips. Just dab into this one and add it on. But today I am going to use the pudding pot, and this one is in the shade Memories. I just wiped it off with the napkin. I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm going to pick up some of this product, just swirl it in there a little bit, and look at the pigment that it picks up. And I'm just going to dot it onto the high points of my cheeks. We're gonna do the same to this side, and I just want to show you guys what this also looks like on the lips. Like, what? Granted, I did have the jelly pot underneath there, but even then the color was super subtle. Look at how beautiful this looks. It looks so cute. Again, this is in the shade Memory. It's kind of like a coral mauve color. Obsessed with it. To blend that out, I'm going to use my Morphe M204, and I'm just going to press that into the cheeks. So you guys can see how easy it is to blend this product. Such a beautiful color, honestly. I do have a few more shades, but this one has been my go-to recently. Here is the color payout. I like the subtleness of it. You can always go in and build on it if you wanted to add more blush, make it a little bit more bold, but I'm happy with how it looks. I'm gonna go back in and just smooth out the concealer we had under there. I don't believe any of the brands have a setting powder either to set your under eyes. So today I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Perfection, and this one is in the shade, what shade is this? Translucent Light. And today I'm going to use my Morphe M163. I really love this brush because of the shape of it. It is a flat brush, but if you see on the side, it is a little flatter, so it really helps kind of get in to like the side of your nose, underneath your eyes. So this is exactly what I'm going to use today. Ooh, it picked up a lot. And just sweep it underneath the eye. Down the bridge of my nose, the forehead, the chin. I really love this setting powder. Look how it just blurred everything right in. Definitely mattified a little bit. And it truly helps set that under eye. For bronzer, I don't believe the brands also had at least a powder bronzer. So today I'm going to use NYX. This is the Butter Melt bronzer in the shade 3 Deserve Butter. And I'm going to take my brush and just pick up a little bit of product to set that cream that we had earlier. And this is going to really help warm up the face a little bit. I just want a little bit more color in there, so I'm going to go back into my bento, my Kaja bento, and pick up a little bit of this powder blush. It is super subtle, so if you see here, it doesn't add too much color into your cheeks, but it really helps set that cream blush that we had underneath. And then you can also, if you wanted to do some highlights, you can go into this highlighter here. It is so pretty. I don't know if I want to get into this one, but I just kind of want to show you guys the like color payout. So that is the color there, and this is what that looks like. Look at how pretty. Super shiny. If you want to glow for the gods, you go into the highlight, but I'm kind of liking the matte look right now. I'm going to set all of that hard work we just did, going back in with the Tier Mask Fit Makeup Fixer, and I'm just going to spray to just blur everything together and mix all those powders in. Or just melt all those powders in. This sprays so beautifully. I'm obsessed with how this sprays onto the face. For eyes, I'm going to just go into my NYX Butter Melt Bronzer. I don't feel like doing a dramatic eye today, but I do want to add some color into there. So I'm just going to take that brown and just work it into my crease. This actually smells really good. I do this every time I don't want to do a full eye look, but I still want my eye to have some kind of color in it. And I felt like just whatever bronzer I'm using for the day, I pick some of that up a little bit and I just work it into the crease. There are no rules in makeup. You can use products for different parts of your face. Who says that you can only use bronzer for your cheeks? That is it for the eyes. Super simple, super quick. Moving on to mascara. All right, for mascara today, I'm going to use the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara, and this is the waterproof version. I like to wear a waterproof mascara if I'm ever going to be out a majority of the day, which is what is happening today. I will be out most of the day, and so I feel like this mascara will stay put and will not run. Oops, I had a little bit on my eyelid, but it's totally fine. If you ever get any on your eyelid, you just let it dry, and then with a Q-tip, once it's dried, you go in to wipe it off and it comes right off. Super subtle. I feel like this mascara is so good. I tend to forget about this one sometimes because I have so many, and every time I come back to it, I'm like, why don't I use this more often? I feel like that's with a lot of my makeup, honestly, because I have so many to try. There's just so much good makeup out there. I'm like, why don't I use this more? That is it for mascara. Lashes are looking good. A face is looking smooth. I'm going to finish off with the lip. I had already taken off what I had put on previously so that I can go in with this one. This one is Alicia, and this is the Sunset Dazzle Gloss Balm. It has vitamin E peptide in it. It is all in Korean, so I cannot read it. I don't know what it says, but this one is in the number 4 Bora Bora. I think we know the important things. We know it's a gloss balm and it has vitamin E and peptide. So that is all we need to know. I don't know if there will be color payoff with this, but we shall find out together. Ooh, look at the applicator. What? It has like a little silicone, and you can see the product right there in the middle. And the product is already kind of oozing out of there, so just going right in. Guys, this color is so pretty. Oh, and it smells so good. It kind of has that same finger-like feel that this brush has, but it's nice that this isn't a version of a balm. The color payoff is subtle, but it feels good on the lips. It's not sticky. It has a nice subtle color to it. The applicator is like 10 out of 10. It applied so nicely on my lips. And I hate when the applicator is so small and you struggle and you use a lot of product, I feel, to like try to get the product onto your lips, but not this one. This one is so nice. This is my first time trying this one, guys. Alicia in the shade Bora Bora. All right, I had said earlier I'm going to be out all day and I really want my makeup to last. I don't want it to budge, so I'm going to go in with the hairspray to your face. Yes, it smells exactly like a hairspray, but there is nothing out there that will keep my makeup 10 out of 10 throughout the entire day. This got me through the summer. I mentioned that in my previous video, but if you have not tried this, you definitely need this. And it's only like $13, I feel. Super affordable. I wish the bottle was bigger because I feel like I go through this little can within a month, maybe less. You do have to brace yourself, so just take a deep breath and go right in. Let all that out. Let all that hairspray smell out. And this is it. This is the final look. It looks super subtle, super soft girl makeup. I love just the softness of this makeup look because you could wear it for work, you could wear it, you know, casual with your friends, casual with your family. If you have to go out and run errands, you want to look put together, not too in your face. this is a super easy, subtle look. Lots of good products today. Guys, this foundation, do not snooze. It is, I understand and know why it's so viral. Look at the coverage that it gives me. My skin feels and looks like skin. 100% recommend. I am also very obsessed with these two here. This I have yet to try as a blush, and I feel like I will eventually, but for now I have been using it on my lips as a balm, and it just feels so good, so hydrating. This one as well, I have been using it as a blush and as a lip. As you can see, the color payoff is so beautiful. It is super subtle, you can always build on it, but it's also such a nice color payout for your lips. So 10 out of 10 recommend this guy. And if you get this guy, you do have to go and get the brush. It's not a must-have, it's a nice-to-have, because you can always apply this with your finger, using your finger to apply on your lips and using your finger to apply onto your cheek. But this does feel good if you don't want to get all that product on your hands. And then last but not least, this guy here, this one is also a favorite. It still feels super good. It feels hydrating. I love the color payout. It is a nice subtle look and tint on your lips, especially if you don't want to wear a lipstick. And this would actually also look really good on top of a lipstick if you wanted to add some shine or gloss to your look. And that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.